Nashville, raising Nashville, raising Nashville, raising Nashville.
Welcome to Raising Nashville. I'm Bucky.
Juicebox.
And we have almost made it through our favorite month of the year, which obviously we're in October. We've done some episodes this season. Actually, let me rephrase or bring it back. We've done some episodes this month on some pretty interesting things.
I'm just like, when you said it's the end of the month or getting to the end of the month, it was just like I had this weird like sinking sensation. It's like, God, it is the end of this month, and it's just like flown by, and I don't even feel like I'm really, we've painted some pumpkins around here like last weekend when it was like rain, or 2 weekends ago when it was raining.
Sure.
We've done some Halloween type stuff, but damn.
Yeah. I mean, COVID can't even slow down time, right? It seems
Speeds
like
it up, it seems like.
It is. It's flying by. So we are on a Monday. To start the week, to end the week, is the greatest holiday tradition of the year, which is Halloween. And it is this Saturday. I have checked Juicebox. It is supposed to be 65 and sunny and a full moon on Halloween.
Halloween hasn't been on a Saturday since, it's been at least 5 years, I think.
Sure.
And there hasn't been a full moon on Halloween since 2001.
Wow.
And not only is it a full moon, it is a blue moon, the second full moon of the month. So this is like a pretty crazy, chance things happening on this day. And it's the fucking pandemic is heating back up.
Right. Bring out your ghosts, bring out your goblins, bring out your face masks. It does suck. I mean, 2020 has ruined a lot of things for a lot of people. Halloween, I don't think potentially could be ruined, but it is set up for a Saturday Halloween for kids trick-or-treating. They get to stay up and eat more candy than they would on a weeknight. It's a full moon, so all the crazies will be out or would have been out.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, haunted houses, obviously we did an episode a couple of weeks ago about Beast House in Nashville. I have a feeling haunted houses will see an uptick this year, just because of they've kind of proven over the month that they can be somewhat safe. So potentially, instead of going out and trick-or-treating, your parents would rather you go to a haunted house. I'm not 100% sure there.
Okay, so let me pump the brakes on that real quick, because I don't want to, obviously we went and had a good experience at one haunted house.
Sure.
For the record, the CDC is advising against all indoor haunted houses.
Ooh.
So, and especially with this uptick, like we don't know what's going on, and there's no real way to verify. Obviously us four did not get COVID from
A haunted house.
From the haunted house. But there is no way to know like how many other people like may have.
True. And it worries a lot of people. I mean, that we've been worried since March. So it is like one long extended anxiety-ridden Halloween season to me.
Yeah.
It's been scary this year. And speaking of that, we are seeing upticks in things, and that's what we wanted to cover this week. I don't know if you guys remember, or our loyal listenership probably would, but every month of October we do 4 straight Halloween or fall-related episodes. If you go back to episode 29, which was our final episode of the month last year, it's entitled Trick or Treat, Smell My Feet. It aired on 10/27/19. And Juicebox, I'm sure you remember this pretty vividly, that we covered the history of trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now that you mention it. When you said you would listen to that episode again, I was like, damn, I do not remember anything about it.
I remember you teaching me a few things, including the trick-or-treating exercise, or things that you get to do on Halloween night as kids. Started in 1895 in Scotland. It was called guising, remember?
Yes.
And kids went from door to door basically caroling for cake, fruit, or money.
Yeah.
And then Ragamuffin Day came along, and we thought guising and Ragamuffin Day kind of just turned into or morphed into Halloween.
Right. Oh, Ragamuffin Day.
Also, in that episode, we brought up the fact that our grandparents probably never trick-or-treated because it really got going in the United States in around the 1950s. And we went in depth on orange and black candy and all other things that you hate to get as trick-or-treaters on Halloween. And we gave you some tips. But what we want to do is it's ironic that this falls on the last episode of this Halloween season, but we're going to dive right back into trick-or-treating because we know that most of you parents out there want to know, is it safe? What should you do? What should you be prepared for? So this week we dove a little bit into the CDC guidelines on trick-or-treating. We're going to talk about some ideas of what to do, if you're worried about taking your kids out trick-or-treating, maybe some alternatives there, and potentially some costume changes because of this holiday. Or because of this, season that we're currently in.
What do you mean by costume changes?
Well, let's start with that. One of the CDC things, and one of the things that, obviously is just a given right now is wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So I looked into it, and there are ways that you can incorporate your mask into your costume this year.
Mm-hmm. Is that just like a Mortal Kombat character this year?
That is a good one. That's a good one I didn't even think about. But they also say, and this is a big one for you guys out there, don't have your kids wear your cloth face covering underneath an actual mask. It just intensifies how hard it is to breathe.
Right.
It's just not safe. So what I wanted to get into a little bit was how to be creative with your mask this year. Obviously, I'll start by saying you can go out to pretty much any Halloween themed store where you buy all your costumes and you buy your yard decor, and they have masks for sale that
right.
are all, everything from the face of that clown in
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I was thinking, what's that show that's really popular on? Was it FX? It had the witch season. It had the clown season. It opened with I think vampires or something.
How I Met Your Mother.
We'll go with that. Anyway, go to any Halloween themed store, potentially Target and Walmart as well. People are capitalizing on this mask thing, so they have created interesting masks for your face. Another idea this year is to just throw a black mask on, a black hoodie, and be a ninja.
Or characters from Mortal Kombat.
Okay, I think we're going to keep going back to Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero, Scorpion.
Another idea is to be a cowboy or, a Western character where you can pull your bandana up over your nose like you're robbing a bank.
Yeah.
That kind of seems like it'd be somewhat safe for a mask.
Right. I mean, I see people wearing them in the store, so I don't know. I guess it's better than nothing.
Another thing I thought of is, do you think we're going to see a lot of Bane costumes this year?
I don't know.
I feel like Bane's mask is just a massive filter, like a filter you put in your vacuum cleaner or something. I feel like Bane is probably the safest person during a pandemic.
It's just a HEPA filter. This just filters out all allergens. That's it. I just have really bad allergies. Other than that, I'm super tough.
Yes, that's it. So what we want to do real quick is kind of dive into the CDC guidelines, or at least what they're recommending for Halloween this year. Obviously, you've heard probably stories like LA shut down trick-or-treating, and now trick-or-treating's back in LA County. There are currently 37 states in the United States that are currently curbing trick-or-treating in some way or other. Certain counties in certain states have canceled trick-or-treating altogether. I think our example is Franklin. I think they have not banned it, but...
Did they? See, I was never unclear about what they actually ended up doing, because they were talking about banning it, but then there was a backlash, and then...
It's been banned in a lot of counties across the country, and there has been backlash, and a lot of them have come back off of that. But it's currently affecting 37 states. So the CDC made some recommendations. It is out on their website. Just type in CDC Halloween if you follow that and you want to find out what they recommend. I'll go ahead and run through a few right now. One is avoid direct contact. I mean, that it just seems like a given there. A couple of givens. Well, let's throw those out there. Avoid direct contact, wear a mask, and wash your hands or bring hand sanitizer. Now, I figure everybody with a brain is already doing those things. So I wanted to go into some other things that the CDC recommended because I find the wording a little bit interesting. We'll start with give out treats outdoors if possible. Now, does that not just raise a red flag to you?
What do you mean?
Do you ever remember? Well, wait a minute. Sorry. We have to throw that out there for our listenership. Juicebox didn't have the opportunity to trick or treat until a later age because his family was in a cult that banned it.
Right.
Okay, we want to. If you want to go back to episode 29, it's really interesting.
Previously odd.
Yeah. Give out treats outdoors if possible. Do you ever remember walking into someone's house to get the treats? Doesn't everybody give treats outdoors? Wouldn't it be creepy if you have to go in somewhere to get treats?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kind of feel like Hansel and Gretel to me. Like, why am I walking into your house to your banister up here in the hallway to get the treats?
Yeah, that is a little weird. It seemed like they would always just stand at the door and hand it out, right? That's what you're talking about? Okay. I think maybe that's referring to and something that had become more popular, I think, like at churches and stuff like that, especially places that have gyms or like a big indoor space. It's almost like trunk or treat.
Gotcha.
Except for, different people have their little booth or their little table and you just go for like.
And that's why we do this podcast, is because I would have never thought about anything like that. My mind immediately goes to grabbing the kid, taking him to the basement.
Yeah, no. I got that. That's a good rule anyway. Do not go into the house. Kids, parents, don't let your kids go into the house.
If your parent accidentally left this podcast on in the car and forgot you were in the back seat, don't go in the house. All right, another recommendation from the CDC is set up a station for treats. Now, this is like every restaurant you went to through the pandemic. You had to go to the door and they had like a table and you're standing behind the table.
Yep.
Like, first of all, you can't set up a station in a popularized neighborhood and expect you not to stand there, because those kids are going to swipe that station and take off running.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, no, you're right.
Who wouldn't?
You're right. They are.
So now you have to stand there like you just took an order for Halloween and hand it across this table just to make sure, everybody's covered. I'm sure on the corner of that table, you've got a big jar of hand sanitizer and tissues.
But even then, you almost need one of those, long grabber things. I have no idea what it's called, but it's almost like it's got like a trigger type thing, and you can reach like 3 feet away and pick something up. That's what you need. You just need that to like reach and grab the bag and
a limb grabber.
Yeah, I don't even know. Just for picking up trash in your yard.
That is hilarious, because that would qualify for 6 feet away. That's pretty much wraps up what the CDC said. It's very simple this year. Avoid direct contact, stay outside, wash your hands, wear a mask, bring sanitizer, stay 6 feet apart. This is pretty much our lives right now. So they haven't said anything new, but it is good to remind people, especially during the holidays, that this thing kind of gets out of control.
Yeah, I just want to say that they did say avoid going to indoor haunted houses, but
okay, we missed that one.
I would reiterate that. But.
Yeah. So now that we know, what you should avoid, we do still understand that you might be worried. You might not want to walk down the street to strangers' houses, have your children go up, potentially catch the disease on their mask or their costume, and then all of a sudden it just somehow infiltrates your house. That kind of scares some. Some, I've seen memes out there, and tell me if you've seen this, but there's a meme out there saying it's a picture of a guy handing like a McDonald's bag through a drive-through window to a car, and then a kid standing and a lady, dropping a piece of candy in their hand. And, the meme says, if you guys are comfortable with this, why can't they do this? And I think obviously it just falls into the line of one side or the other on this issue we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So if you are still worried about, taking your kids out on trick-or-treating or Halloween night to trick-or-treat, we know that you still want them to have fun. We understand that. We're parents. We want them to soak up this holiday as much as possible, no matter how old or young. We want it to be memorable for them and include candy, of course.
This is very tough. on one hand, it's like there's neighborhoods like I think we talked about on the last episode, but basically like over there in East Nashville, and I mean, you said over there by Vanderbilt, I think is where you guys went trick or treating. There's several neighborhoods that are like established as the neighborhood to go for trick or treating.
Yes.
So that shit is definitely like a risk factor.
If you've ever gone down Eastland on Halloween night, I mean, you're talking thousands of kids.
It's to the point where like the police need to like block off the road, because I'm surprised no one gets hit by a car with as many people as are over there just walking around like nothing's going on a road that's open. So that type of shit obviously is dangerous. But I think about like our neighborhood, like I guess not many people would be trick or treating over here because we don't have sidewalks. But it feels like it could still be safe. You know, like you said, you have a table outside, you have something that's already in a bag, so like you said, a kid can grab it. Yes, you're like trying to police it and make sure that kids aren't grabbing all the bags, but like there's a safe way to do it here.
Sure. No, I agree. And we have created, we can't take credit for this at all, but our wives have created this thing this year, and they've all collaborated on it, where what our children are going to do is be part of what they call a trick-or-treat train. Mm-hmm. And that is where, and you know, that's one of the things that I missed about the CDC parting, is saying, you know, stay around people you know. So the whole premise was that we're going to dress all our kids up, and we've got a pretty broad friend group with kids. And they're all going to hop in cars and kind of caravan from house to house while the husbands sit on the front porch and drink beer and scare kids and hand out candy.
Yeah.
Spoiler, if you're related to us in any way, just watch out on those front porches.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Something might be hiding in the bushes.
Oh. I will not be hiding in the bushes.
Okay. You can do that. You can also, another recommendation is to do kind of like an Easter egg hunt, but for Halloween. If you want to stay in your house, if you have, a couple of children, you want to hide like treats around, the corner, or, hide them throughout the house, have them do like this Easter egg type hunt.
Yeah.
Or you could potentially put a couple outside in the yard, do hunting outside in the yard. If it's a nice day, just watch behind those bushes. I feel like you just went dead on that. You're like, get on with that joke. I've also seen creativity on the internet where a guy is, I guess it's another meme, where he has built a PVC tube that runs from his front porch to the mailbox. And when kids come up to like the mailbox, you just drop a piece of candy in that tube and it slides right down to them.
It's not a bad idea. Even if his house is that far away.
It's a long PVC tube for some people.
Yeah.
But some people, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I guess that's true. I'm just thinking of my front yard. I'll be like, God damn, I'm not rich.
I think yours is the other way, too. You'd have to be dropping it from the roof to get down to the street.
I'd have to have some contraption that like shot it up to their car.
Another thing that I have read is outdoor movie party. Throw a sheet up or a screen if you have one, and access to a projector. Invite everybody over to the house, have treats, watch a movie. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't rain.
As long as it doesn't rain. Weather's been affecting us a little bit lately. And finally, another idea of what to do if you're worried about taking your kids trick-or-treating. I know all of you are going to be so joyous to hear this, but host a virtual Halloween party for your kids. As if we haven't been on so many Zoom calls and our kids are going through so much virtual school. Let's put them on there again and ruin their Halloween.
This is tough. Now, I was talking a minute ago about how there's ways to do it, but God, yeah, this is tough.
It really is.
See, I'm thankful that we are able to do it like this, because this year is like a good year for Barrett to like actually start to realize what Halloween is. He's excited about wearing his little dinosaur costume and can't wait to put on the whole thing. It's like every single day he wants to put it on, and we're like, no, we gotta, wait, because otherwise he would have destroyed it by now.
Yeah. It is tough, and that last suggestion just depresses me to all get out.
Yeah,
But I would be remiss to say that if you are adults and listening to this podcast and you don't have children and somehow you just love hearing us talk about random things, You are familiar with Zoom, so there is a suggestion out there. You could do a Zoom seance, is where you try to, you could, try to conjure the spirits with each other through a Zoom call, maybe put a candle down there, or just turn it on Shudder for the new exclusive film Host, which is exactly that.
What just happened?
I just plugged a movie.
You plugged a movie? Okay.
I plugged a movie during a trick-or-treating episode.
Okay.
If you're looking for something to do, Host is something. After the kids go to bed, after they've had their candy, but it is Saturday. I'm expecting kids to be up pretty late this year.
Yeah, it's a Saturday and a full moon. Kids are going crazy.
Absolutely. So, that's pretty much our show. What we wanted to do, again, this week was raise awareness for trick-or-treating, give you some ideas. If you are still interested in going out there, do it. If you think your kids need this, and some people think their kids need a lot of things after finding out this week that kids will no longer be going back to class in person in Davidson County. They will continue virtual school, which has made a lot of parents on both sides angry and disappointed, and they're sad for their kids.
Would you say that parents were feeling just pretty stressed out about this whole Halloween being canceled and school finding out their kids not going back to school?
I know I am. It's been a hard couple of weeks.
Man, we have this product that sponsors us. I'm not sure if you've heard about it.
Is that Two Tour CBD?
You're right. It is.
Man, I'm so glad you brought that up because I completely forgot about it until right now. I usually am a weekly CBD taker. We take it in our coffee, but we also take it when we get anxious or, down a little bit or, just need that extra push to take our mind off things.
Yeah, I always take it in my morning coffee, and I don't know, it just eases you into the day a little bit.
That's awesome. So if you are feeling anxious and, you have all of these mixed feelings towards trick-or-treating this week or, your kids being home for a little bit longer, feel free to go to twotours.com. That is Two Tours CBD. If you go to twotours.com and enter the code Raising Nashville, you'll get 10% off any of your orders plus free shipping. It is a win for everyone. twotours.com, code Raising Nashville. Two Tours CBD. We came home together. We grow together.
Snuck it in again.
We did. Well, we hope you enjoyed our show this week. Get out there, have some fun, and it's a full moon. Watch some scary movies. Live up this week because it is going to be the last one we have until everybody tells us we can't get together for Thanksgiving. So do this week right. Get all the feels in, all of the spooky stuff, and we will see you on the side of November.
Yeah, but please be safe out there.
I'm carving pumpkins, it's almost Halloween, and all my friends are wondering what they're gonna be. The Monster Mash is playing, you're moving to the